What's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Pivot to Greatness. I'm your boy, Coach Beasley,
It's your boy Jay.
and man, we are excited today to come to you guys and give you this episode for today. Today is definitely an episode to where we are quite diversity, which is overcoming adversity. I think everybody out there understands what it takes to kind of overcome adversity. I do understand, and ignore the sirens outside. We outside. But we do understand that just finding out the more and more we grow up that overcoming adversity kind of makes us a better person at the end. Depending on what your adversity is, and then the steps you have to take to kind of overcome it. What are your Jay? What are your points, or things that you go by to overcome adversity, just in the natural life that you're in right now?
Well, I'll say this first off. Like you mentioned, everybody has their own type
Mm-hmm.
of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Adversity comes in, many ways, whether it's, mental, emotional,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, physical,
Mm-hmm.
even financial, so
Damn,
everybody
yeah.
has,
Yeah, you're right.
everybody has
Jesus.
those, adversities
Mm-hmm.
in life that, we go through. And of course, with every type of adversity, there are, of course, you have certain things that you can do to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of help yourself, get past it, whether it's, you know, um, you know, buckling down and focusing, hey, I got to make a budget, or, hey, I need to try more on, networking, or, I have to, get myself outside of this, my comfort zone of, being to myself and try to,
Mm-hmm.
talk to people and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a lot of different things that, we can do, as a whole, to kind of overcome adversity.
Right.
Again, it's a lot of different things.
So I had this quote that I actually looked up before we started. It's from William J. Clinton. It says, "If you live long enough, you'll make mistakes, but if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. It's how you handle adversity, not how it affects you. That's the main thing. Never quit, never quit, never quit." That hit me a different way because it was hundreds of quotes on there, and I don't think I got through five of them, and I seen this one, and it stuck with me personally only because I've been I've been through, just individual. I've been through enough to understand that if you quit, then what was the reason for you to go through that if you're just gonna
So,
quit
yep.
anyway? So I should have quit a long time ago and just
It's,
left it alone a long time ago, instead of going through the long and like going through the long problem and the issue of it, and then being like, all right, well, I'm gonna quit. I'm done with it. I ain't gonna worry about it. So I give an example for like this is just something that I struggle with throughout childhood with school. Struggled through childhood with school in general because I just didn't feel like it was so important, or what were people so like adamant about
person, right?
school, like why is school so like this, and I thought it was boring. So it didn't really hit me until I started playing sports. And when I got to high school, I got kicked off my varsity team, ninth grade. Not thinking anything about it. I had just got to high school. I'm already just chit chatting,
Mhm.
hanging in the hallways. I'm on the basketball team, big dog, freshman, playing varsity. I just knew teachers was just
Right.
gonna let me fly, and it didn't work that way. It just didn't work that way. Most of my teachers were like, "Hey, get this work done, get this done. May be able to push your GPA up a little bit." I think I got kicked off. I had like a 1.89.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean not 1.89, a 0.89. So,
I didn't know that, little buddy.
hey, my boy, I was literally going in class, put my name on the paper, and just be like, all right, well, I'm here now. I do some work here and there. Didn't really give it any attention. Didn't really give it any thought. I didn't apply myself, as my parents would say. You don't apply yourself.
Right.
So and I didn't. So it bothered me a lot to know that I got kicked off the team when basketball was
What?
literally what was saving me
Mm-hmm.
at that time. And it hurt. Like, that bothered me a lot. Like, I cried. I was like, man, I got to figure something out. I got to figure something out. And by the end of my ninth grade year, I ended up with a 3.0 GPA. By the end of my ninth grade year, never touched it again though. Not even sniffed it after that. But I knew that because I was hit with an adversity, I couldn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna quit basketball. I'm gonna quit basketball. I'm gonna quit school. I'm gonna just whatever. It's fine. I ain't gonna worry about it. It wasn't meant for me if I ain't make this. But not knowing that, and this is a good one, we create our own adversity sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
We really do create our own adversity. Like we fight against ourselves so much, and it's so hard to fight back with yourself because you're like, okay, well, it's me. It must be right because it's just my train of thought. That's how I was. That's how I kind of adulting. That's how I just kind of made up my own mind about certain things. So now it's hitting me a certain kind of way now. So it's like now, like I had my first daughter in college at 22. That was a self-made adversity because I'm like, I didn't want a daughter at 22. At this point, I'm a college athlete. I'm a college student, and I had to get a job at that time. So now I don't have time to study as much as I thought. I'm leaving from practice, going to work, coming back home, taking care of our daughter at that time. Like shout out Tay Tay, but it's just so. It's so many times where we, as people, we create our own adversity. And like I said, that was one moment for me where I feel like I created my own adversity. Like, what was a moment for you where you just felt like, yeah, I did this to myself. I can't even be upset about it.
Oh man, that was definitely credit. Yeah. For me, that was coming home from Alabama State. Only did a year. Only did a year. I definitely. Well, you know what? It might have been Alabama State. I take that back. I think I set myself up for failure with that one. Going to college and going away to college in Montgomery, and I mean, school for me has always been easy. So I mean, I never had a issue, with that. But going away from home, not having access to, vehicles. I mean, this, you have friends and you see them, with vehicles, and instead of me saying like, hey man, I need to do this, or hey, and me just, sitting back and allowing myself to be quiet, which, has always been a big, I would say, adversity for me is, I'm not a talker. So, I'm more of the behind the scenes type person.
Observing.
Right. I'm super observant. I'm an introvert, so I don't talk often or a lot. So, going away from home and being outside of my comfort zone and having to try to communicate with other people and trying to find my place as far as where I fit in.
Right.
That was a whole nother world for me, and that was I would say that my silent, or I say my introvertness was a big I would say adversity for me, or I allowed it to hurt my I guess my college. I'm trying to think. Yeah, my college experience. Yeah. Because a lot of the things, my roommate, shout out to Juice from Detroit. Shout out to my roommate, but he was a very outspoken person. He tried to get me to go do a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, nah, man, I'm just gonna chill in the room. I'm gonna be up here playing the PlayStation, watching TV, or I walk around campus and chit chat to the small group of people that that I know, or I'll walk over to my boy Ball. Go over to his room and or I call him and see where he at. He out. Because Ball, that's another joker that's out.
Right.
He's super talkative, extrovert. Very well spoken. So I'm surrounded. I'm an introvert surrounded by a lot of extroverts, and I'm just like, okay, I try to emulate them to a certain extent. But again, that's not me. So
I get that. Yeah.
I would definitely say that college part was my first big well, you know what? I said that was the first big adversity.
Dang. Okay.
Okay. I would. Okay.
But that was for just in that moment. yes, that was a big adversity for you at that moment. In that stage of your life, yes, that was a very big adversity. Yeah, we had, you've had other, other adversities, yes, absolutely. And that one adversity led to multiple, absolutely, yeah. So now, but that I can, and I feel that, like, at that moment, you was like, yeah, this is killing me at this point. Like, I can't. It's hard to communicate with these folks because I'm so to myself,
right?
And everybody wants me to go out and do that and do this. Like, I'm opposite. You call me at that age, you call me, I'm going. Yeah, because I ain't got nothing to do. And that, I'd say, I went to Tulane out of high school. Ended up also a whole nother adversity. Now, let me just go ahead and tell it. So, in high school, right? Pretty decent in high school. Ranked number 52 out of 100 kids in my position in the country, and offers were flying in. It was flying in. And I've never really came out, like, publicly, like on a show or anybody to really say it like that, or like on social media, to explain what really happened. So I went into a situation to sign my letter of intent to Florida International. It was a great school in Miami. I loved the campus. It was a great campus. The coach was great at the time. Like, me meeting him, I never played with him, never played there, but coach was a great guy. So I signed my letter of intent, and no more than probably after I signed it, I'd say a few months after that, probably not even a few, probably 2 or 3, he either got fired or resigned. And I'm stuck, like, okay, well, who's about to be the coach? Like, who's really going to be here to be the coach? And as soon as it came over, Isaiah Thomas, like, bad boys Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons, old school Isaiah Thomas. I'm hyped. I'm like, I get to play with a Hall of Famer. Like, this is finna be bomb. Like, this is finna be dope. This is going to be probably the littest year I'm ever have playing college basketball. Killed them dreams. I was at an All-Star game, in the local All-Star game here in the city of Pensacola, and I got a call from one of the guys that I was recruited with. He also signed to Florida International. He called me, was like, hey, what's his name? Jamal. It wasn't Jamal Mashburn. That's an NBA player, but his name was Jamal. He was like, hey, man, you heard that they don't want us to come? Well, I ain't heard nothing. They don't want you to go.
Right.
They haven't said anything to me.
Right.
He was like, nah, like, they don't even want us on campus. Like, they are telling us that if we come, we won't play. We'll just give y'all a year of school, and then y'all can go by y'all business. And I'm like, nah, that ain't. And no lie, I'm at the same day, somebody's calling in, and it's the coach from FIU, the assistant from FIU that was recruiting me at the time. And he was like, hey, man, I got something to tell you. And I'm just like, this is bad timing. Like, this is all bad timing. Like, I'm at an All-Star game, I'm supposed to be happy.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to show my last little bit before I leave to go to Miami. And he's like, yeah, coach doesn't want you to come. Like, he doesn't want you to come. He has his own players coming in. And I'm like, all right, I can't show him I can play. Like, let me come try out or something. Like, not try out, but just, like, prove to him that I'm worthy of the scholarship. He was like, nah. He said, you can come to school and just be a student. Like, you'll be on the scholarship for that year. And for the people who are listening, scholarships are only a year. Like, there's no 4-year full ride. Scholarships are only a year. So those coaches have they have the option whether they want to re-sign you or not. So going in, I'm thinking I signed a 4-year scholarship to play. So you have to honor the 4 years. He was like, yeah, nah. I actually learned that at a Florida State basketball camp. But he was like, yeah, nah, he don't want you to come. He has his own players coming in. He said, if you come, you won't play, you just be a student. So I was like, yeah, nah, that's not a good idea for me. Because if I'm going to go, I'm going 10 hours away from my family to not play basketball, just to be a student, and not knowing where I'm going to fall at right after that year. Like, I could be in limbo. Nobody wants me. I haven't played, so nobody's seen me.
Right.
So it's just, it was a time, and it came out on the news. It was on ESPN. It was everywhere for a week or so. And people started to hear about it. They started to find out. And shout out Coach Lewis. Like, I owe a lot to that man. he had a guy, Coach Kim. Shout out to Coach Kim from Tulane, Kim Lewis. I think that's his last name, Coach Lewis. Yeah, Kim Lewis. And the coach from Pensacola, who was at Washington at the time, was Coach Lewis, Dwayne Lewis. And he was like, "Hey, I got a guy in New Orleans that's the assistant at Tulane." I was like, "All right, bet, no problem. That's cool. You know, I do a little trial or whatever the case may be." He said, "Yeah, he wants you to play pickup." Pickup. All right, that's fine too. Whatever, that's cool. I go. He Coach Lewis picks me up, takes me to New Orleans with like 5 other guys.
I didn't know this. I didn't know the story.
Yeah. So he takes me there. 5 other guys. I think 2 of them came from Pine Forest. No, he was coaching at Pine Forest. I'm sorry. 2 of them came from Pine Forest. 1 came from Washington, and it was me. So it was 4 of us. He took us there. I mean, we had potential to play. So he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to show what you got." So at the back of my mind, I don't have nothing to lose. Like, I'm literally like, I don't have anything to lose. Like, I need this.
Right.
Literally, no lie. As soon as I didn't stop working out after I found out. I didn't stop working out. I didn't stop working on my game. I kept doing what I had to do in hopes of something coming out of it. Because lo and behold, I was just probably going to go to a junior college, play there, and hopefully try to find some after that. So I went and played the pickup at Tulane. Shout out Coach Dave Dickerson, who was the head coach over there at the time. Went in and killed it. Like, I'm trying to dunk everything, flying off the rim, grabbing rebounds. I'm trying to make every shot. I'm trying to make every layup. I mean, it didn't work out that way, but like, I showed exactly what they needed. Left the pickup, and well, actually during the pickup, I'm doing all the good stuff, and I found this story out when I did my my speaking engagement at Washington for the basketball team.
Oh, wow.
Coach Lewis was like, "Yeah, man, you need to know the full story about what happened." He said, "Y'all playing pickup," and he said, "You're killing it." He was like, there was a coach from Xavier, coach from Southern, Tulane, and what was it? Dillard. I think Dillard was like a low level, probably NAIA school maybe. Don't crucify me. I don't know. I'm gonna just say the names of the school. Don't even worry about it. Just say the names. But I do understand that they were just like telling Coach D, which that's what Coach Dickerson, telling Coach D, like, "You don't want him, man. He ain't gonna play. He's just gonna ride the bench. Just let him come with us. We'll take him." The coach was like, "Nah, yeah." He said, "Y'all ain't even ranked. So why would y'all want him? Why would y'all want him? He ain't gonna want y'all." And at the end of the day, I'm just hooping. I'm playing. I'm just playing, and I'm not hearing none of this. So at the end of the workout, at the end of the pickup, you know, they take us around the campus, let us see the campus a little bit, and then we go to the athletic office. He's like, "Hey, I got 1 scholarship. That's it." And it was a kid that I guess fell out. That I guess not, but the kid that they tried to get, but he ended up going to another school. So they were like, "Hey, we got 1 scholarship," and the paper's on the table, and I'm like, "All right, well, you want me to sign now?" He was like, "Yeah, hey, it's all we got. It's all we have." And they were going literally school. I think I had to report to school probably about 3 weeks after signing.
So quick.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I ain't got nowhere else to go. Why not? Signed it, and it was a relief to just feel like being wanted. Because at the time, I didn't feel like I was wanted. I didn't feel like people really, like, all the work I put in through my career at high school, that it was all for nothing.
Right. It
was all for nothing. So that having that mental adversity come against me could have just shut me down.
Right.
Just being like, all right, cool, forget it. I'm gonna just be one of the real good hoopers in the city that never went to school and just was like, forget it. I'm not gonna worry about it. So ended up playing my first year at Tulane, and it wasn't the best situation. It really wasn't the best situation. But I do thank God that I was able to have that experience, to be a freshman that played on a Division I basketball team.
Right.
And the adversity could have literally, derailed me from everything that I dreamed of doing from playing high school ball. It was just so much going on that I could have just quit. Like I said, I could have just quit and just been like, all right, whatever, forget it. But yeah, that story has been like told amongst like friends here and there, but never like publicly to bash Isaiah Thomas. No, I do not care for him. I'm gonna put that out there now. I don't care for that boy at all.
Look here, the minute we heard about
Jesus.
it, the minute we heard about it, he might not can say anything, but yeah, we don't pops. Yeah, we immediately was like, nah, he a jerk for that one. So say what you want. That's what it was. It was, I mean, but when you think about it, you have young kids.
Mm-hmm.
You got young guys, 17, 16, 17, 18 years old, and they've been promised, this, hey man, you can play, but then you have this, this legend, come in, and it's like, oh hey man, like how you said that, man, I'm about to play for him, and like he didn't even have I guess for us it was more, he didn't have the courtesy to call or just be like, hey man, if you want to try to play onto the team, instead of but at the same time, after that happened, again, everybody in the nation, had a it was a big fallout from that, and then from there he went to coach a women's college team, I believe. And it was an issue, because it was an issue that arose from that. But it was just like, maybe that was the best.
Right.
It all worked out for the best. Because it was like, okay, well, that team didn't do so well under his leadership. He went to this women's team. They didn't do so well. So it's like, maybe we did get blessed, or you did get blessed, where it was like, okay, hey, that wasn't the...
It's hard to see it as a blessing because we went 8-28 at Tulane, so it was totally. And I hate losing so much, but it was so hard to be able to say that this was a blessing in disguise. Which, I mean, in theory, yes, it was absolutely. It was a blessing in disguise. In actuality, not theory, but in actuality, it was a blessing in disguise because I was able to live out my dream of playing Division I basketball. But yeah, so it was definitely a major blessing in disguise to be able to miss an opportunity, or I guess not be given the opportunity that I worked for, to now go into a situation to where I was wanted. They actually wanted me to be there. The coaching staff, okay, I do think I bumped heads with a lot of coaches there as well because they didn't recruit me.
Right.
They don't know me from anything. They just see me play pickup and was like, okay, we got to get that kid. And they just didn't know what they was getting themselves into. So, and like you said, like he didn't have much success after that. So, Isaiah Thomas didn't have much success after that. What was his record?
So that first year was 7-25. He was 7-25 his first season at FIU.
Yeah, so we beat him by a game. Yeah, beat him by a game. It was 8-28. We lost more, but we definitely beat him by a game. But it's just, I'm a firm believer, and I am a believer in God. I'm a believer for sure. But I do understand that you reap what you sow, and you can't just like plant bad seeds expecting good crop, good things that come back. So I definitely do understand that. I mean, yes, you may have been a great player, and I say I take nothing from his career as a player. Great player. I just, as a person, I don't think you're a great person for doing what you did, and at least not coming to me to tell me like, hey, we want to go in another direction. Kudos to you in your career of high school. Excuse me. Kudos to you in your career in high school, but that just doesn't fit my program.
Right.
I would respect that. You could have hung up in my face after that.
Yeah.
Cool. It was what you say, reconciled? It was done.
Yeah.
Like I was over it. But like I'm telling a story now, way over it now. College has been over. Can't go back. But it was just understanding as a child what that did to me mentally as a child to put work into something and have somebody pull it from up under you.
Yeah.
That was definitely majorly traumatic for me at that time as a child. That was majorly traumatic for me as a child.
And quick insert, it wasn't a women's college. It was women's professional. It was the New York Liberty that he had coached.
How many years did he do that?
Ooh, I want to say
4 seasons.
Maybe a year or two, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think that's about the time he did at FIU.
Yeah.
I think it's about the same amount of time he did there. So, like I said, I mean, you can't plant bad seeds and expect to get good stuff back. So that was my biggest thing of that story anyway, because that definitely affected me in a way that I didn't know how to come back from until I was able to get the opportunity to play at Tulane. The steps that you take to overcome adversity, and this is just the steps I took to overcome. I prayed a lot more. Like I prayed a lot more, only because I know prayer works. And this is just, like I said, I don't know if y'all believe or not, but growing up in a household that we grew up in, my mom was a praying woman. So I knew that prayer worked because it worked in our lives for her praying over us.
Mm-hmm.
So I do get I dug a little bit more deep into my spiritual side because I knew that was a way to overcome that adversity that I was going through. So it definitely helped me out. I worked out harder. Like, I spent way more time in the gym. I would normally do like 2 hours, and that's probably lifting with my strength and conditioning coach, and then going into the gym with some of my teammates individually, and then getting up shots and working on different moves and doing stuff like that. So to take time out to tap into my spiritual side and then to start doing all the physical work, I think the spiritual side kind of helped me mentally with the physical work, because I was more able to put a little bit more focus, understanding that I already gave it to God already. Because I can't do nothing about it.
Right.
I can't call Isaiah Thomas like, hey man, I need a scholarship. Give him a scholarship back. I just had to give it to God, and I had to keep working. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not hurting. That don't mean I'm not upset. Like, that doesn't mean I have different, like, I guess, negative thoughts about it. But it always comes back to the praying side of it, to where it's like, God, I gave it to you. So all the negative thoughts and whatever I have in my mind, take it out my head. Just let me focus on what's at hand right now, like what I can do right now. So at the end of all that, like, speaking on like praying through adversity, like, what is a moment to where you knew you had to pray yourself through an adversity, or just tap into that spiritual side of yourself through adversity?
So I know I was saying college was the first major adversity, and it's crazy because it was so long ago. And I mean, I think about it from time to time, but what was it, July the 5th of 2022?
Oh, white.
Yeah,
there you go.
July the 5th of 2002. Car accident. Yeah.
The junior year.
Yep. So, and it's crazy because I remember the events leading up to it. We went over to Auntie Marianne's house. Went over to Auntie Marianne's house for July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Keon's room, and was up in there chilling with him, talking to him, like, oh yeah, this is what we doing. And Jimmy had called, and it was like, hey man, let's get up, we're gonna go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, yeah, we can do that. So get back home that night, and I went to pick Jimmy came to the house, and then we went to go get his cousin Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Went to go get his cousin Jason. We went to see Like Mike. I would never ever watch Like Mike ever again.
So is that like a? So is Like Mike like a?
Not a trigger.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to say.
I just
okay.
like, you know what? Bow Wow, you was bad looking. That movie was not worth what it.
No, not what came after that. No,
it absolutely was not worth what came after that. So, and it was crazy because it was rainy, and now that's the part to where I kind of don't remember. It's like I'll have dreams and certain stuff will kind of pop back in. But we were leaving the theater, getting ready to head to take Jason back home. Young, dumb, was speeding, in the rain, and not necessarily. And I guess this is where it kind of gets blurry. But I know, we're speeding. I'm trying to get up to get in front of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's thinking that I'm trying to race. No, I'm not trying to race you, buddy. I'm trying to get up so I can get over. Right. So we can take the right McDonald's, hit the back street,
mm-hmm.
so I can get Jason back to the house. So, and somehow, I guess, old boy clipped the back of the truck, and I remember, it's crazy, I remember the first maybe 2 flips of the truck. And then everything goes black. But while we are flipping,
mm-hmm.
I remember something that Uncle Sam said in church, which was, pray for grace and mercy.
Mm.
And it's crazy, but I remember saying, God, give us grace and mercy as we're flipping, and then blackout. And I don't remember anything. I woke up, I didn't remember how we got, or how I got there. All I remember is waking up, and it's kind of dark in the room, and church was on the TV. I want to say T.D. Jakes was on the TV,
mm-hmm.
and nobody was in the room, and I don't know if I hit the button or the nurse just came in, but I tried to talk,
mm-hmm.
and she said, you can't talk, you got tubes in your throat. I didn't know this. Again, I'm out of it, I'm in and out, and I'm like, man, what's going on? So again, shout out to moms, but it was a lady that used to go to our church. Her first name was Mary. I can't remember her last name. She was a very nice white lady. But she taught us
sign language.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So that's the way that I was communicating. Was through sign language.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, so, that makes sense.
So, and I was, spelling out like, hey, where, is my mom? What happened to me? And it was crazy that it was a blessing that she knew sign language.
Yeah.
So
she taught classes at church. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the nurse that I had.
Oh, the nurse knew sign language.
Yeah, the nurse. So because again, I'm talking to the nurse because I got tubes in my throat, so I can't talk, and it was nothing for me to write down.
Right.
And so, and she was like, she called in the doctors,
mm-hmm.
and I'm, talking sign language, and she was, telling them
mm-hmm.
what I was saying, and that was a major, change in my life. Being able to, and I guess at the time he said that I was partially paralyzed. So, I couldn't move I guess I had some mobility in my top left half, but in my left leg and my feet area, or my foot, I had no movement in it at the time. So, me not knowing what happened, or can't remember what happened. I, again, for a while I was in the ICU, just dazed, and coming, trying to build myself back up. That took a lot. So again, mom praying, came in every night, or every time, it was, hey, come on, we finna pray. So it was always, praying, having everybody come in and prayer. So definitely having that spiritual part of us definitely helped me make it out of it, because mentally, again, I just woke up in the hospital. I didn't know what happened.
Right. Yeah.
So, me asking everybody, like, hey, what happened? And they don't know.
Right.
They're going off of what, Jimmy and Jason said, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
Right.
Like, I can't say that's actually what happened. And again, that was traumatizing. And then not only that, but physically, just the rehab.
Okay, stop at the rehab.
Okay.
So my version of up into the rehab, I'm laying on the floor, pallet on the floor, sheet covers on the floor, pillow, watching TV, and I hear Dad say, "Nah." Mom immediately starts crying, and I'm like, "Oh God, what's wrong? Like, who died?" And Dad said, "Get up and get your clothes on. Jar's got in a car accident." I'm crying now because I'm like, Lord, my brother is gone. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So we get to the hospital, and I'm in the waiting room. They I think they let me see you once they once they got you okay.
Stable, right.
Yeah, once they got you okay, but you're still in like the emergency room.
Right.
Room. So you, I wish I could say what I want to say. You were messed up in that bed, but it was like so much red on the covers from you bleeding, and it was like, what's going on? So we all go back to the room. I guess they had you stable at the time, and they was like, yeah, it was kind of, hit and go.
Right.
And they was like, yeah, we lost him probably twice, and then he came back. And I'm like, what? So and I was in 5th grade at this time, and it was just so hard to be like, hey man, I gotta go see my brother in the hospital, not like at the crib or at his crib. I had to go see bro in the hospital, and it was just hard to see like your head. Like bro had a crown with screws in his head. His neck was back was broke. Neck was broke.
Yep, neck.
Arms, like, and just to see him. And then like I came in after the sign language, so you were writing stuff on paper when I came in, and it's like the stuff you were asking for. I'm like, man, you don't listen to music for? They just get you out of the room. You want to listen to music? But it was just seeing that, because I've never seen you in this predicament, never seen you like this. So I'm like, why is he asking for this stuff? But it was making you feel comfortable about the situation that you were already in, that you couldn't fix. So it's like, just give me what I need,
right,
so it can help pass time. And which now, like I said, he was on the basketball team that year, or no?
No, it was I was going back on the basketball team
that next season.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of that. But anyway, just to see you in that spot was like, man, like this is so hard. Just to watch you do this, not what you had to go through. Forget how I felt, what you had to go through, but just to see you like that, it made me value a lot more as a child. It made me value a lot of my decisions that I made, only because like that could have been my brother's last decision that he made. So like sometimes when I go through things, I be like, bro, it's not even worth it. Arguments that I get in with other men, and knowing that most people can't fight, or they're not gonna fight. They just gonna immediately start shooting. Now I gotta figure out my decision, because I have daughters and I have this and I have that going on. Hey, bro, you got it. Ain't even, it ain't even now. Don't get to doing nothing before y'all think that's what this is. It ain't. It's not what this is. But I just understand that my life is way more valuable than making that one stupid mistake. Or one boastful mistake to try to make it seem like I'm this big dude and I can take care of myself, when I could have just been like, all right, cool, bro, you got it. Slide on, go over my business. But yeah, now rehab. Now go to the rehab story, because I know that was excruciating.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's coming. I want to say I was in hospital for what, over a month. I want to say
for a while.
I want to say maybe was it July, August. Yeah, I want to say I was probably in there for 2 months in hospital for maybe 2 months. But the rehab portion was just bad, and again, mentally, physically taxing. Doctors walking in saying, he might not walk again, or he might not be able to. If he walks again, he'll have limited mobility,
right,
or have to walk with some type of assistance. And when I heard that, when he said that, I was like, nah, bro. Like, I gotta get myself back in shape,
right?
Because I'm supposed to be on the basketball team this year. So that was one of my main drives. Was like, I got to get better.
Right.
There is no quick. So when the therapist ladies, started coming in and started messing with my foot to see if I had any feeling in my foot, and I'm like, man, I have to build feeling.
Right.
Like I'm like, no, you gonna work. Like you will work.
That's
like
crazy.
That was my entire thought in that. And again, I'm in the room, by myself at times, and I'm like, looking out the window from when moms come in and open the window, and I'm like, man, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like I have got to get out of here. And but the feeling of helplessness, like not being able to do anything for myself, that also was like, you got a male nurse coming in and like, hey man, we got to take your shower. Say what?
Yeah, nah.
Right.
That ain't funny, but
Right.
yeah.
You ain't got no ladies. Bro, you ain't got no ladies in here.
Like, hold on, but you gotta wash everything.
Like, bro, like
wash everything.
Like, buddy, pick me up. Like, come on. So I'm like, man,
under your arm.
Hey, like on was it Friday? I was like, woo, this is a strong one.
It's like the Matrix.
That dog grab me and hot, put me in the chair. I was like,
wow,
oh,
that's crazy.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
right.
you can't do nothing now.
Yeah, I'm like,
I can't fight back at this point.
You got me, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
But that was
that's a humbling experience.
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely.
that's a very humbling experience.
And I guess where I found myself kind of define the odds was when they took me down to my first therapy session. And I thank God for this, because this absolutely changed my entire mindset. It actually gave me more confidence. The lady was rolling me by in a wheelchair, and I saw a basketball goal in the hospital. And I'm like,
this carpet.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I saw
I remember
basketball
that.
goal in the car. I mean, I'm like, wait, what? I was like, y'all got a gym in here? She was like, yeah, you want to see it? I was like, yeah. So she rolled me in, and I was like, y'all got a ball? Because there was no balls in there, so she brought me a ball. So I'm shooting from the chair. Shooting from the chair. And then that's when I started shooting with my left hand in the chair. So I'm,
I used to hate when you do that crap. As a child, I hated that.
That's when I was like, okay. And then from there, I was like, okay, they got a court in here. Like, I'm going to work myself back up to being able to do this. And, eventually was able to, and it's crazy because, like I said, you go from what man says. Yeah. Oh, he's not going to be able to walk, or if he's going to be able to walk is with assistance. Yeah. And God, like, no, we ain't doing that. Facts. No. Yeah, so it's, you put in the work. So they say faith without works is dead. Agreed. So I'm like, God, I got it. I got it. But at the same time, I'm in there, I'm putting my all into the therapy. So the next time she, brings me back in, I'm like, can I get a ball? Right. And she gives me a ball. I was like, I kind of want to stand up. She's like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So she stands me up, and I take a step. And she's like, no. I'm like, move. Right. I'm good. So I start dribbling, and I go between the leg, and then she said, sit down. So she set me down, brought in the doctors, and it wasn't just my doctor. It was multiple doctors started coming in, and I'm like, no, can I go? She was like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm going between the leg, walking backwards, going between the leg.
That's crazy.
And it's crazy. Like I said, it's amazing, because like I said, you say one thing, right, and then when God does something different, now you got to come back and see what
you got to see what the miracle look like.
Right.
So you got to eat them words now.
And so and I'll say, for me, throughout my life, that has always been my testimony. Is like, again, what you say is going to happen to me, like I said, medically wise, it's like, this boy right here, he gifted, he got some more, this, y'all say this medically about this joker, but it's going to be something completely different. Agree. So that was a major adversity, and like I said, still today, I still have, some complications from it, from my nerves, but it's, again, like I said, it's from where I was supposed to be to where I am now. Man, you can't tell me nothing.
Man, so just on that part, and then seeing it, he got back into playing basketball after rehab, like full on. He was dunking after that. So just imagine, to a person that they told, you're not gonna be able to walk, and if you are able to walk, you're gonna need assistance, and you go from that to dunking, playing basketball all over again, running, jumping, playing that. And when I tell, I'm kind of over it now, but when I would hear the story, I would tell the story, I would always get emotional, because I always pictured myself as a kid watching you do all of that, and I'm like, man, ain't no way this man is out here doing all of this, and he didn't say that he got thrown from the car while it was flipping. So, excuse me. You got in a car accident, literally could have been a fatal car accident, thrown from the vehicle. How far did they say you were from the car?
Ooh, front windshield, I don't remember.
You went through the front windshield?
Yeah, I went through the front windshield.
God. Do y'all know how strong a front windshield is to a body flying through it? Most people die immediately hitting the windshield because it's so thick. So you flew through the front windshield from the car. God, I thank you. You threw from the car, and you probably died out there. To have them bring you to the hospital, live, go through rehab, and then you're back to literally activity as normal. With with hiccups here and there because you had your leg broke, like a lot of bones was broke. So, but to go from he just can shoot, that he was full form, everything looked like nothing happened. So just on my end, that definitely made me value basketball way more, because I was like, because you weren't able to play your senior year because of coming back from the car accident. So I think your number was 40. I don't know where I got 41 from, but the number that
both of those numbers, I had 40 and 41.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong then. Okay, yeah. So his number in high school he had was 41, and I'm a Dirk fan. I like him, but that wasn't why I had my number. Like, I never wanted to change that number, and he knows, but only because of him that I wore the number, because I was like, he wasn't able to finish his high school season due to what happened, but if I'm able to do it, I'm gonna carry the number as long as I can. Like, I wore it high school, college, professional, playing overseas. Like, I never wanted to drop the number because it meant something. So, boom, kudos to you, my boy. Thank you, appreciate you. But just like I said, just on that end, I do that. Like I said, I always say, like, you're a major role model for me in general. Just to see you go through so much and really not really complain about it like that, because you're just like, hey, it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. Yeah. I can't really too much complain about it. Yeah, I'm in pain. Yeah, I'm sore. Yeah, it's like this, and this is going on. But what is that going to change me complaining about it? So, like I said, I do thank you for telling that story. There's a lot of stuff I did not know. Like, I did not know the basketball story. Did not know that. I was like, who? I knew it was a court there, but I did not know that, you had to do that in order, like, for them to come in and see you do it. And I know they were like how was he able to do this? Yeah. So that's a major adversity, and it also tells you guys to understand that you can't give up because things are hard. Like, he couldn't walk. Like, they were saying he wouldn't be able to walk. Yeah. And we get upset because we lose a job, or we have tough times with our children, or we have tough times with our partner, and we just want to call it quits. Or, school is hard, or, this coach doesn't like me, or my supervisor doesn't like me. I'm going to just quit my job. I'm going to quit the team. I'm going to quit my relationship. I'm going to quit being a parent. And it's just going to get better that way. Now, that stuff actually gets worse. Because and I've found this out from my own experiences through life. When you quit the first time, you're going to continue to quit every time.
It's a pattern, yeah.
And he said it. Repetition breeds habit. Repetitive, quit. It just becomes a habit. When you do it the first time and you don't find a way to solve that problem, you're going to continue to quit. You're going to continue to quit. You're going to continue to quit. So, and I tell my kids this as well at school. Like, if you know that's not what you want to do, don't start it, because you're going to end up quitting in the end of the day when it gets hard. Like, it's so easy to quit when things get hard, because it just eliminates you from the problem. But then that's just not how God built us. God built us strong enough to be able to withstand a lot of things, because he doesn't put more on us than we can bear. And I do understand that makes me way more prepared to deal with certain things, because I do hold those jewels and scriptures as a foundation for me. So that was definitely dope. I'm gonna take a second to throw an ad in for you guys. Fuel your energy with Dubby. Tired of jitters, crashing, artificial junk in your energy drinks, Dubby is here to change the game. It's clean energy formula, no sugars, no fillers. It's smooth, long-lasting energy. Long-lasting energy. Nothing that's gonna like spike up real high and drop you off. They say it's one of the best ones on the market, just simply because it has a lot more natural ingredients in it than your normal drinks. Helps with the focus and the performance. It says stay sharp and neurotropic. No, and it's spelled Nootropic. I thought that was nootropic or nootropic. So we're gonna say neurotropic blend, which is a smart drug. It's something that kind of helps with your focus, helps with the brain cells, the function of the brain, things of that nature. It doesn't give you jitters, like I said earlier. It doesn't give you jitters. It's like a major crash. The reviews on it are very good. So if you guys want to purchase Dubby, go to Dubby.com. At the checkout, you can throw in Pivot to Greatness for a 10% off coupon for any purchases that you have. So, man, check out Dubby. It's a great product, man. But to end it, I do thank God that I'm able to give for us. So for me and my brother to be able to give you guys a lot of the things that we've gone through, but then also give you solutions for the things that you're going through as well. So never feel like you're out here alone. Never feel like you're by yourself. Major thing you should take from this episode is never quit. If you have something that you're doing, you have a business, you have goals that you want to accomplish, never quit. Never quit. Because quitters never win. Just put it like that, simple. Quitters never win. It's cliche, but quitters never win, man. And it's so prominent now these days where people just kind of give up sometimes so easily, when your blessing is right around the corner, or your finish line you're not even your finish line, but your next good thing is right around the corner. And I think we definitely have to definitely preach that. Never quit. Just go through it, continue to go through it. Something's going to come out great on the end. And man, I do think that this is going to work out for you guys. So you guys have a great day. We enjoy you guys coming in, checking us out. Y'all,